Hi everyone, this is April with Flowers from the Foss family. We garden in zone 4A and I am taking a video of, a video tour of our garden. It is July, what is the date? I think it's July 11th or 12th maybe, and it is so hot here. And our plants are loving it. And for us in northern Minnesota, it's in the 90s, which is not normal for us. So these two Mojave plants that we planted right here on the house, they look different. So I don't know, one's blooming way more and the other one is not. Our little cactus not doing so well. So we have Mojave and Lobelia and Agerarium planted there on the wall. Our vines are taking over. This is a basket of petunias. There is November with Lola smiling and smiling. We don't get to sit here. We only get to sit here in the morning because it's when it's cool, and then it gets really hot. In the evening, sometimes it feels good too. Now we're jumping down to the little area right by the porch here, the deck. It's kind of a hot mess. So the wormwood is not doing good. I don't like what it looks like. It never has looked like this before. So we're going to dig it up and maybe save some of it and put it somewhere else. But we're planning on doing something else right there. There's the clematis, and we thought it was dead, and it's growing, so we're just going to let it go. But the vine is just out of control. So we need to get a grip on that before it just smothers everything out. There is a quick fire fab and a foxglove growing through there. We're just going to let it go. Some foxgloves growing through the drumstick alliums, and we're going to cut most of them back and we'll leave one to seed out so it just does what it wants to do. We love when things just grow all over. The drumstick alliums, they're starting to show their colors and look so cute. Matt's not a fan of them, but I like them. I like everything, I think. Almost everything. There's some things I don't like. This delphinium, I needed a little help. It was starting to lean over. And so we did have a beautiful like lavender delphinium there, and it died this winter. So I think they might be a short-lived perennial. We have some phlox that are starting to bud up, and a shot of the petunias there, the bubblegum. I think it's bubblegum. I might have that wrong now, but look at our boxes. They're going to need some repairs after this season. They're looking a little rough, and the vines, Matt needs to cut some of that out because it will choke everything out. So let's get on that. And then this sand cherry, it's looking good. Matt cut some of that back too because it was just getting crazy. We moved the allium in the middle there out from underneath the panicle hydrangea, and it is not as green as the other ones, probably because it wasn't getting all the sun. So the panicle hydrangea is just starting to bud up, and so we're looking forward to that, and it's super happy here. It's more of a zone 5 right next to the house, on this side of the house. The alliums, so many allium buds on there, so that is going to be really exciting to see how that looks. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'm doing a voiceover, so things might not match up perfectly and it might sound a little wonky, but that's the way I have to do it. So this is a remnants rose, and I sit in the morning kind of right next to it, and it smells really lovely. It's so beautiful, and I hope that it just continues to grow. So we had one here before for 3 years, and then last winter it died, and so that is new. I bought that last summer and planted that, so that is its first full year, and it looks really good. This is a incredible blush hydrangea that's starting to bloom, and it's one of my favorites just because it's pink. And this too had a rough year last year. It was very, very tiny last year because the years before it was huge. And so this year it's coming back a little better. This is some flowering oregano. It's so cute. This wasn't supposed to come back either. And I said, let's just plant it and see what happens. And so it is, and it's doing really well. And I'm going to pull out the alyssum around it so it can just grow at its own will and just be happy. I love the purple, pinkish, lavenderish color on it. This is the Roseanne. I think it's called geranium. I think it's called Roseanne. So cute. And that was new this year, and I'm surprised it's flowering, so I'm really happy about that. And then the hollyhocks, we still need to plant them. It has been so hot, like I said. I thought they died the other day. They just needed some water. Lantana, and I'm not sure what the other one is called there. There's alyssum in there too. These are the dinner plate dahlias. They're cafe au lait. Oh, I cannot wait for these to bloom. I bought one plant 2 summers ago, and it was so beautiful, and now we are going to have 2 plants. The only thing about them is you have to dig them up in the fall and keep them over winter and hope they survive. Some petunias that just self-seeded themselves from petunias that we had in the past, and we're just gonna let them go. I'm going to show you the path down here, and then the other day these poppies were really cute, and I'm going to show you a picture of them in 1 second here. There they are. They're so cute and just fluffy, and they're kind of on their way out now. They have a few that are going to bloom, but and then the grasses, the feathery grasses, I just love how they just blow in the wind, and they're just so, they kind of have a pink tint to them right now, and I just love that. So I'm coming down here into the my favorite part of the garden, but first I guess I'm going to show you the box here, the dining room box. It has petunias and purple fountain grass and some alyssum and some verbena that self-seeded in the garden, and we just took it out and plucked it right into this box. The salvia is not my favorite look right now. I think it's maybe too hot. It just burns up in this box. Maybe once everything grows more, maybe it won't burn up. I don't know, we'll see. But I highly recommend the purple fountain grass and buy the proven winners ones, because the other ones that we bought are not doing well at all. There's some self-seeded daisies and some thyme. And then here we go. Here's the favorite. I love sitting in the garden. I sit kind of right in front of here and just look at this part of the garden because it's my favorite. And so we have the Shasta daisies that are kind of going over now. So there's some buds coming, so if we cut them down, they'll bloom again. There's a little lobelia tucked down inside there. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So the Sweet William is going over now too, and I'm not sure if if it blooms again, but we'll see. I have to deadhead it still. The Spirea has so many blooms on it. It is so cute. I love the chartreuse colors of the leaves, and I love the flowers, and I just love that. I didn't think I would, but I just love that pop of color. There's a little tiny delphinium. The delphiniums that I have one on each side of this daisy here, and they're just puny. I think, like I said, they're short-lived. They're just nothing. But I just let them go anyways. We have some echinacea here, and I think it's called Butterfly Kisses echinacea. I don't know. I think it might have that disease, so I might have to pull it out. This is the nepeta, and I cut that back yesterday, so it'll flower again. The balloon flowers, and these are called the banana cream daisies. They are probably my favorite thing. So I think I'm going to buy more, because look at that. It's like a bouquet. It's just the cutest thing. They're so pretty, and they're all together, and they're just like a bouquet, like I said. So we have 3 of them. And this one we planted, the ones in the back, so we have one there and then one on the left, and we planted those last summer. And then this one has been here for, it's either 3 or 4 years. This is lamb's ear, and lamb's ear is blooming. We're letting it bloom. We usually cut back the flower blooms because I don't know why we did that, but I like them. Another color in the garden, why not? More color. The balloon flowers, I like the colors, but I don't like what happens when they die. That's not cute, but they're gonna stay. The GMs are done blooming, and one of them looks like it's kind of, I don't know what's happening to it, but the other 2 look really good. This little part of the garden is just not what it usually, I mean, every year it's full of alyssum, and I don't know what happened this year. It doesn't look that great. Some foxgloves, and this is the incredible hydrangea. And so this year we did not prune. We just cut the blooms off and didn't prune it down. And it looks like that we're going to get more flowers, and not big flowers like we have had, and they just kind of flop when it really really rains. These lilies we planted from somewhere else in the garden, and I'm surprised they bloomed. Bubblegum petunia there, a sedum, there's echinacea back there, and the grasses. I just love that. Isn't that so cute? The grass is just blowing in the wind. So as you can see, there are foxgloves back there, and they're on their way out, and I'm gonna let some of them just seed out, and some of them I'm going to cut back. This is a nepeta, and it is humongous, and I can't remember if I said on the last video or not, but we are going to take this out and divide it and put it in the back, and we're going to put something else right there. Some more bubblegum petunias. There's a Cosmo in there. There's lots of lupin. This lupin, I just am letting it go to seed, but it decided to bloom again, and there's some more back there. They're not as great and beautiful as the first flush, but they're still cute enough. Here's some wormwood, and then back there is a hibiscus, and that is new this year too, and those flowers are huge. Like, someone I think called it like prehistoric because they're so huge. I'm gonna get a view of it on the other side of the garden there. Another view of the lilies, and the foxgloves are done, so they will need to be cut back. The alliums need to be pulled out. There's some phlox right there. The hyssop is flowering. The hyssop is really tall, and bees love, love, love hyssop. I know there's another name for it. I don't know what it is, so we call it hyssop. Here is the Invincible Spirit 2 Smooth Hydrangea, and it struggled last year too, and this year it's doing better. It's very pink. It's not blush like the other one. It's a brighter pink. I really love it. Going into the garden here, I'm going to show you the path down here, right on the path, we have this lupin, and there's a flower on it, and there are like new lupins growing, so they'll probably flower next year. And this path Matt put here, and it's getting closed off. There are hostas in the path. I'll get a better view on the other side of them. This is a weigela, and I had mentioned before that the cats were rolling around in it. When it blooms, they do that. Now that it's done blooming, it's doing much better, and it's getting more leaves, and it's looking really good. Here is a black-eyed Susan Rudbeckia. There's a lupin growing in there, and now the lupin's done, but the Rudbeckia is going to bloom. The Shasta daisies are probably done right there. We'll cut them back, and they'll probably grow another flush. This is a hibiscus, and it's called the Summerific Berry Awesome Hibiscus. And we bought this year on a good deal, and the flowers are humongous, and it has lots of buds, and I can't wait for it to bloom. And so sometimes these don't come back. We had one in the back, and it did not come back. So I hope it comes back next year. Some heuchera, some echinacea trying to grow back here. That's a little weigela. It's called the tiny, I think it's tiny wine weigela. That, I can't remember if we bought that. I think that was last year. There's a ginger wine 9 bark back here, and I don't know if it's getting enough sun way down in there, so I hope it does. Some more Rudbeckia, some foxgloves. Those foxgloves are like furry kind of. This is a quick fire fab, and it is getting its buds, and I can't wait for that to bloom. A little span of the garden here, the feather reed grass. I think you can kind of tell on this video that it has like a slight pinkish lavender color to it. It's just so cute, and there is one over there on the other side of it too. Just love those. We also have another quick fire fab. Oh, it's super tiny, and we didn't know if it was going to survive the winter, and it did. It's very tiny. I hope it grows big and tall right there. There's phlox right next to it, and the phlox is spreading, which is okay. We can just dig it out and put it somewhere else as well. There's a dahlia in that cage there. Those get really tall, so I hope it does. I hope it gets enough sun there, and I hope it grows super tall. We have lots of liatris and spent lupin growing in here. The path is just, there is some alyssum growing in there, so we'll just let it grow. And then I'm going to try and step over into the other side of the garden here. We call it the loop. Now that the path is gone, I had to make a new path, but I'm sure that will soon disappear. On the other side here, we have this hydrangea, which is called the Incredible Blush Hydrangea. There's heuchera right there. There's also a strontia right there. It's hard to see. I'm trying to think, how do I get my shadow out of here? So I'm going to try and figure it out here. So right back in there is that hibiscus, and it's kind of a I hope it's gonna be like a bright color right there. There's a lot of green right there, so I hope that gives me some color that I want. The grass blowing in the wind, super cute. The foxgloves are also blowing in the wind. This, I believe this is an autumn joy sedum, so that will bloom, and it'll be pink, pinkish flowers. Can't wait for that. This is an astrantia, and the one in the back is so much more floriferic. Is that the right word? Floriferous, there you go. Some penstemon, and if I move too fast, sorry. This is a panicle hydrangea, and it's actually getting pretty big. So I'm looking for, that's one of the last ones to bloom. The incredible blush. Behind it we have phlox, and they are getting their buds. We have ajuga down here, which has the flowers are spent. You can see they're brown. There's so much grass growing through that ajuga, so that is disappointing. The flax is looking good. It'll bloom and bloom and bloom, just less and less. I still like it. That is a baptisia. The lilies, so we need to divide these. We planted these probably 4 years ago, and there were 2 flowers, and now we have so many, and I want them in other parts of the garden. When we first started this garden, we literally didn't know where we didn't know anything. I've said that many times. We didn't know anything. We're just like, okay, put it here. So there's lots of liatris back there. There's a sand cherry. It's called a purple sand cherry, like the one by the deck. This incredible hydrangea. So I don't know. There are black spots on many of the leaves, and some of them have many black spots, and I don't know if that's a disease. I had asked our good friend Chat, and Chat said it was too much moisture, but I don't think that's what's wrong. So I haven't dived in to look deeper into it, but I really should, because I hope it's not a disease. This is echinops, like globe thistle, so they're going to turn blue. And my plan was to have that growing with the echinacea, and the echinacea is going to bloom. If you follow me at all, you know that last year lots of my echinacea had some kind of a disease, so we had to take it all out. I hope none of them have diseases, but they might. Way back there is a sweet William growing down on the hill there. We have a panicle hydrangea that I'm not a huge fan of because it's just not that great looking, and it blooms one of the last things to bloom. There's a dwarf Joe Pye weed. This echinacea looks good, so that makes me happy. Now these incredible blush, they're not blush, incredible hydrangeas, we also did not prune, so it looks like that the flower heads are not going to be so ginormous. There are just lots of flowers on them, and I wonder if they'll touch this year. They usually do. So, but behind them, like right in between them, we planted corn. I don't know, we just wanted to plant corn there to get really tall and kind of block out all the neighbors, but we'll see if it grows tall. We want to be in our own little private oasis, but you know, we're up on a hill, so really it's not private. Another coneflower. This is some Veronica, and they look like they're different. Like I bought them at the same time, but they look different. I don't know. They look like they're going to be, the other one's going to be a different color. This one is so cute. So this is what this one is called, the Magic Show. And I think that maybe I put it in the wrong spot. I'll give it a couple years to see what it looks like, but I would rather see it on a different part of my garden, so we might move that. These lilies, we moved a bunch of them last week because they were just getting too much, and then behind it we had put a baptisia, so to fill up that area, so we'll probably have to move more of the lilies. Here we have some Midnight Masquerade penstemon, Russian sage, some foxgloves that are going over, and I think I'm going to cut some of them back because sometimes they rebloom. That's a purple leaf sage. I'm also surprised it came back. A spirea that is still blooming, and a lupin growing in the middle of it. The 9-bark. I also really love the 9-barks. I hope it gets massive as the years go on. Just keep filling out. More foxgloves. We have a grass back there, and that's called a Korean grass. Here's another Weigela, some more lupin, and we have some sedum that you can't even tell because it's being taken over by the grass and by the lupin. This is a Zinfandel hydrangea. That'll be fun to show you once it blooms. It has buds, so that'll be not too long from now. We have some more sage right here. That is a quick fire fab hydrangea that was planted as a little tiny baby last year, so that will get nice and big. Liatris, some lilies that we had moved from a different part of the garden. We have heuchera tucked under this Alfredo viburnum with a annual of lobelia. I wish I had more. I didn't know where to put it, so I just put it there. But these heuchera are called, I'm gonna try and get a close up for you. It's called the peach berry ice. I'm bad at remembering the names of everything. I know some names of some things, like this Alfredo viburnum. Like it's probably, I think we bought 3 things when we first started this garden, and Matt bought them, and this was one of them. And it is one of my favorite things. So it's 5 full years in the garden, and it's supposed to get 6 feet tall. I just really love it. It probably is 6 feet tall. Look at the smoke bush. I just love that. I love what it looks like when the sun's just shining on it in the morning. We have some phlox growing down here, and there's 2 different kinds, and I thought they were going to bloom at the same time, and they do not. A 9 bark tucked in there. There's another quick fire fab, which is my favorite panicle hydrangea. They're just so nice looking. The only thing about panicle hydrangeas is they take a long time to bloom, and with such a short summer, that's kind of a bummer, but I really do like them when they bloom. Some hyssop, the snowball viburnum, growing more leaves. I also think that we probably have to move the smoke bush out a little bit, like I've stated before. Lots of clovers growing in the grass there. We need to cut the grass. Now I'm going to move over here to the thyme, and the thyme is blooming, and it doesn't even really show up how cute it is on film, but it's so cute, even though there's too much. This is an endless summer hydrangea. There's Queen of the Prairie, and that is a new butterfly bush, and it says it gets 8 feet tall, but I just am not believing that. So this little part of the garden needs to be edged and fixed, and it just is messy looking. But it has a spirea, it has a yew, it has an annual in here, petunias, the bubblegum petunias, it has some alliums, some self-seeded bachelor buttons. And then the hose is always somewhere in the garden. It is, like I said, it's been so hot. We have Sweet William. The Sweet William is going over, so I will probably deadhead some of it and see if any of it, if we get another bloom, reblooming. We have lots of self-seeded liatris in this garden, tons of bachelor buttons, another feathery grass. So it can tend to look like a hot mess in the garden with all this stuff just self-seeding all over, and I like the cottage garden look, so I'm okay with it. I'm kind of bummed out about how the path turned out this summer. I wanted the alyssum to like just overflowing into the path, but it doesn't want to do that. This is Blue Hobbit Iridium. I don't think that's the right name. I know it's Blue Hobbit. I think it is Iridium. And we're gonna swipe over here to this little area. There's some petunias, and this little coneflower is new. It's called Evolution Colorific Coneflower. Super cute. There's another smoke bush, and I'm going to show you all this time. There's so much thyme right here, and it is blooming and it's super cute, and it doesn't show up on this video how cute it is. It's lavender, really, really cute. We have some purple fountain grass that is not fountaining like the one in the box because it was a cheap brand. This is a Weigela, and it's called Magic Fantasy, and it says it's for hummingbirds, so I hope we get more hummingbirds. Here's another look at my favorite little spot here. I just can't get enough of those daisies, banana cream daisies. They are zone 5, and for some reason they come back for us. It must be warm right there. Here's some feverfew, and the thing about the feverfew and the Shasta daisies is they do not smell good at all. There's a I think it's called a Monet Weigela, and that gets like only 2 feet. There's a bobo hydrangea, panicle hydrangea right there, and lots of phlox next to it. The grass is blowing in the wind. The lilies are back there, and so that was the loop that we had went around, and now we're on the little pea gravel pathway here, which I sit every morning and look at. It's my favorite spot. And that is pretty much it for the front yard. I'm just going to show you the little front of the house here where the lilies are growing, and it's just a cute little bright spot, but this spot needs lots of work. And so I just did the front yard, and I will probably do a backyard or a full entire garden tour soon. But I just wanted to get everything in today, and I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see you again soon.